la fin, on va goûter toutes les bails. Et on va dire, il y en a 60%, enfin celle-là, elles vont faire le domaine de Chevalier. Et puis les autres, elles feront va tourner. Et il n'y a rien qui va freiner le mouvement. Oui. Alors que dans une barrique, ça marche très bien, parce que c'est pas loin d'un œuf quand même. Mais ici, il y a les coins là. Oui. Et ça va casser l'onde. Donc il faudra le faire plus souvent. Donc il faudra mettre la main, toucher, déranger plus souvent. Of course, the most important and the beginning of all is the vineyard. So in the vineyard, we have to help the vines to produce the bunches in which you have all the ingredients to make the great wine, because there is no magician in the cellar, just good cookers. But in the vineyard is perhaps 80% or more of the job. So there are cycles in the nature, and we will try to do the job because of the cycle and because of our feeling of the earth and of the plant. We start in December. In December we are pruning the vines, depending on the age and the varieties we have. For example, Cabernet Sauvignon will be a Guyot double pruning, that is symmetric pruning with 3 buds on each symmetric cane. And Semillon Blanc will be a different type of pruning. It will be a very short pruning with 2 buds on 3 shoots. This way helps the variety to express the best as possible the shoots and then the fruits. And then comes spring with debudding. When we feel that debudding will come in 1 week, we have also to focus our interest on the soil life, because at that moment we are able to smell the earth, which was not smelling in winter because all the bacteria, mushroom, all the earth life was sleeping, and so we have to work the soil as the plant in spring. So to help the life of the soil, we will expand some vegetal compost, and we will plow with special engine to aerate the soil, to give oxygen, and to kill the few grass without any chemicals. And then growing is coming, and we will have to make a selection of the shoots, vine per vine, shoot per shoot. And we have 50 hectares with 10,000 vines per hectare. That means 500,000 vines, multiply 6 shoots minimum per vine. So you see 3 million and more shoots to check one per one. It's a huge job, but it's a human and artisanal job, because we cannot go with engines to do that job, because more meticulous you are in the vineyard, more meticulous, more fine will be your bunch, and then your job. And all along spring, and that means April, May, June, July, there are a lot of jobs in the vineyard. We have to select the shoots, we have to cut some green bunches, we have to select some leaves, to be careful of the orientation. When we de-leaf, we de-leaf only in the morning sun, the east side, because morning sun is not hard for the fruit skin, but afternoon sun is hard for the fruit skin. So we don't touch the leaves the west side in July or something like that. That means the rows have all the same orientation: north, northeast, south, southwest. And then August is coming. So in August we have just a break and go to the sea or something. And early September we come back for dry white picking, because we have 50 hectares, 5 hectares of dry white with 80% Sauvignon Blanc and 20 Semillon, and we have 45 hectares of reds. But the dry white picking is earlier, and normally it begins early September, and we will pick only the morning to respect the freshness and the oxidation potential of the must, which is very low 2 hours after sunrise. And so we will just pick the golden bunches. We will teach the pickers just to choose the golden ones. That means we can have 3, 4, sometimes 5 picking on the same vine tree during 3 weeks long, each morning after morning, if it's not rainy, of course. And so each day it's a succession of micro vinification, because these fruits we have picked and selected berry per berry. We will have a direct pressing this juice into the barrel, fermentation into the barrel with the natural yeast. And then what represents a morning picking with 40 pickers, 3 hours picking, 3 barrels of 2 hectoliters. And we go on like that 3 weeks for the dry white. And then arrives the red picking. We start with the Merlot and go on with Petit Verdot, Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot, nearly the same time, early October, and then we finish with the Cabernet Sauvignon. About 2011. 2011 is very special vintage, and we say it is the vintage of the vigneron. It is viticulturist vintage, because 2011 is a special year, because first we had drought, a huge drought in France, and mainly on the Atlantic face. And then we had a fresh and humid July and August. And then again, fantastic 30 degrees, 3 weeks long in September and early October. So vines with their deep roots in the gravels can resist to such a drought, but they, in their way of resistance, they have much low productions, of course. So 2011 yield is very low. We will say half a normal yield. And it was difficult vintage, because it was full of precise decisions. Do that, don't do that, stop doing that, it's not the good choice. We will go on tomorrow. And then, for example, in the reds we had bunches with, in the same bunch, green berries, pinky berries, drought berries, rotten berries, and perhaps 80% of very nice berries. So it was chirurgical to select berry per berry, like in the white, in the reds. And some plots we had 2 harvests in the reds. We say to pickers, we go a first time, you choose this type of bunch we have put in crates in 1 tank. We go another time in the same row, and then we have picked and selection and in another tank, because we had the feeling, it is our feeling, that it was 2 quality in the same. So it was a very difficult year. When you make what you have to make, when you believe in what you do, when you are used to sort out the whites during years and years and weeks berry per berry, we had the potential to save absolutely all the reds at the Domaine de Chevalier, with a huge number of hours picking, with a huge cost of picking. That's not the problem. The problem is we have to make, our objective is to make a jewel, whatever the cost. And then we go on jewel market, because Domaine de Chevalier is a jewel. Then we hope, we trust in this vintage, and we'll see in a few weeks how the reds will express. But for the moment, the dry white seems outstanding. Okay, each year it's outstanding, okay, perhaps, but it's true. This place is magic, and we use only our hands and our head and our heart to do this wine. So sometimes it's more difficult, sometimes it's less difficult. But we say it's outstanding dry white. We'll see in few months when you will try. Is it so unique? I think all the great properties of the world and of Bordeaux, of course there are not hundreds, but I know other properties who have the same philosophy and who have the same job, and they make the greatest wines. You know, voilà, in Bordeaux we say we have vin de terroir. So when you say vin de terroir, you do not say vin technique, you do not say technique wine. So technique wine is a nice expression of a variety with technique, and terroir wine is the human artistic expression of earth, coated with fruit and very well presented in a perfect balance with a lot of finesse and elegance. To recognize. Difficult question. Great purity, great power without any weight, very long aging potential for some vintage, and so special, evident taste without any feeling of construction building into the wine. It seems to be very natural, and it is always very, very good.